guys. It's all pop up all of a sudden. Leave a comment. Let me know you're here. If you'd like a reading, all you need to do is just drop a comment. I am good. Thank you very much, Sharon. I hope I'm saying that right. That's a nice name, actually. I like it. Sharon. I am well. Thank you. I'm well. So, guys, if you'd like a reading, please just drop a comment. No pregnancy, no legal, no health questions, guys. As always, I just read for who I'm drawn to, but I absolutely do appreciate it if you share the post. I don't mind where you share it to. And I also appreciate if you leave a thumbs up or just a love heart as well. It helps build the algorithm around the live feed as well. So, Christy Eve, so I would like to pull a card for you, please, if I may. So, yeah, if I don't get to you straight away, guys, please just feel free to comment more than once, but don't spam the page, please. That's just, yeah, it's annoying. All right, so Christy, let me pull some cards. Okay. It's funny, I was just talking today, and it's sitting there. The readings are not sitting heavy at the moment, but just sitting a little bit more deeper than just at the moment, Christy, and I want to do the same with you. So you've got the Take 5 card, you've got the Trust card, which talks about self-belief and self-trust being that basis and that foundation for where everything begins. And you've got the self-denial card that sits there straight after, which can talk about a little bit of self-sabotage and things like that. So I wanted to see where the journey was going. So you've got the internal conflict there, which just talks about being caught in your own thoughts, sometimes indecision and things like that, like trying to do the right thing but not quite sure how, and all of that kind of energy that comes in. You've got the clearing out the stables card. This camera's crap, but well, it's not crap, it's on the PC, but anyway. But you've also got the letting go card that's there. Anyway, sorry, it's a habit to hold the cards up, which talks about releasing binds. You've got both of these cards together, okay? So what I want to say to you, Christy, is that taking a moment, regrouping, recuperating, and all of that sort of energy that sits there around you, okay? And just coming back to a little bit of your own intuition and sense of trust, and sometimes just thinking about the accomplishments we've had before and all that kind of energy helps us sort of go get I've got this, because as I said, that self-denial card can sometimes just bring about a little bit of self-sabotage, and we can do that through procrastination and all of that sort of stuff. The internal conflict that's there, so clearing out the stables. It's time to let go of what's no longer serving you around, okay? And by doing so, it's going to release some binds around you and clear up your energy, okay, Christy? So I hope that helps. Okay. Scroll back. Yeah. Guys, while you're here, there's like my Facebook page. You'll find me doing the daily reads on YouTube each day as well. No pregnancy, no legal, no health questions on the live feeds. Okay, guys, please. Not that I'm seeing it, I'm just letting you guys know. All right. Why does your name ring a bell? Like, did I just read for you last night? Did I read for you last night? I was going to name quite well because it didn't. Anyway, let me pull some cards for you. Okay, so you've got the Take a Moment card, you've got the Grounding card, and you've got the Freedom card that sits there. Frustrations, the bigger picture. Okay, so Sharon, when I'm sitting with your energy, okay, it's talking about taking a moment. It's talking about needing to ground a little bit. Letting that release, self-love, determination, which comes in with the Freedom card. Your energies. You got the Frustration card that sits there, and that's what I'm caught in when I sit with you, and I feel like that's quite a kind of energy that's there. But you've got the Bigger Picture card that falls straight after it, which is talking to you about looking at the bigger picture. Don't make decisions that are best for the short term or the easy decisions that are best for now. Think about what you need for the long term, okay? That frustration, I feel, sometimes comes in because we're not honouring ourselves properly. And so when we take a moment and we make sure we're grounded and we connect back to that sense of freedom, and you've got the support card that's there as well, you'll find that frustration starts to lift. Focusing on the bigger picture, okay? Living for the moment, making decisions for the moment isn't serving your deeper purpose. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. And your name's ringing such a bell. All right, moving on. I am well, thank you. I'm off in La La Land. I'm going to read for Susan. Reading. You know what? You know what's on my mind? That's it. And I guess I'll just kind of say, well, there's a few of you on. That's it. Relationship readings. In the last 3 months, 2 months, even, there's been a couple of incidences that have occurred that have been quite intimidating. Is probably a nice word for it. Anyway, what my point is, you know, when we have relationship readings and things like that, you need to understand that the decisions and the choices are always your own, you know, and things. And for those of you that know me, you'll know that I don't sit and say either way. I'll give you the information for what you need to work out yourself. It's really important of what you think about and do with that information that's there. So I've actually changed the way I do relationship readings slightly. I don't know why I feel the need to say that. You know why I feel the need to say that? Because it fucking sucks that I sit in my workplace and have twice now copped massive shit from other people's stuff, and yeah, I don't find that very nice, and so I'm shifting a little bit. That's why. So I am well, but I'm not well when I fucking cop that. Let me tell you. So I have to get that off my chest. Oh, anyway, all right, moving on. Susan. So yes, just know the decisions always have to be yours. No psychic, no medium can ever sit there. If a psychic medium, including myself, that says, yep, this is what's there, it's always as the energy sits now. It's always as the day sits on today. So always know that about a psychic reading, because I was sitting with a couple of people this week as well, just doing readings. And I do want to point that out, is that you're when you look at the Akashic records, for example, and you go back and you meditate and you sit with your Akashic records, that you don't see what's ahead. Okay. And the reason you don't see what ahead, you know what I'm trying to say, is because it is not set in stone. We have free will, you know. I can remember once I did a reading where, you know, she's come back, she's like 12 months later, just very generically, obviously speaking, and, you know, kind of gone, oh, you know, you said there was a relationship coming in and, you know, it's been 12 months, you said it'd be around now. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So did you leave the, you know, the relationship that you weren't supposed to be in? Oh, no, I haven't done that yet. Well, obviously, you know what I mean? But we're in charge of our own destiny, and just always remember that. And don't ever use other people's energy to create your defensive blocks, or such and such said such and such. And then you just, yeah, don't do that. It's not a nice thing to do. Okay. All right. So moving on, Susan. Sorry, I know you've been waiting patiently. But yeah, never, ever, ever in all my years, and then twice in 2 months. No. All right, Susan. Okay. Nice. Okay, so it shows your energy is just clearing out. You've been clearing out the energy there, because again, you've got the detox card, which talks about letting go of what no longer serves, but it brings in uncertainty. But it's like you understand and know that some of the things that are around and these changes that you're bringing in, they weren't working. So it's like, yeah, I know I've got this. I'm moving forward with it. You know what I mean? It's a nice positive energy, because I feel like it's one of acknowledgement, not one of actually being stuck. Okay, and then you've got the beautiful sunset card that comes straight after it, which talks about the beginning of a new era, you know, a shift over. And you've got the patience card that sits there, says just have a little bit of patience with it. But you're thinking about, you're thinking about the long term, you're thinking about what's best. And so it's going to bring in some changes. So I feel like you're caught in, not caught at all, actually, I don't feel like you're caught at all, but the detox and the uncertainty, I just feel like you're kind of sitting in that at the moment. But it is with acknowledgement, and that's going to bring in exactly what you've been working towards. I feel like this is more to do with self. So, you know, yes, that can impact work and all those kind of bits and pieces, but I feel like this is more to do with self, and even like the way we think and all of that kind of energy, self-discipline, all of that sort of stuff that's there, okay? So, if you, keep that in mind. You're definitely headed in the right direction. Just need a little bit more patience. I feel like there's a little bit of validation there that's, yeah, you've got this. There's a really nice energy with that. Be open to embracing the change. Yeah, stay connected with yourself. Yeah, so beautiful. And then you get the truth and the happiness and the desire. So yeah, there's a really nice energy that's there. Just feel like you're caught, not caught, I keep saying caught, but in those steps. Okay, so Susan, I hope that's help. Susan, I hope that helps. But I said your name wrong, so I got caught in my words. All right. Oh, nice. Okay, so you've got the Take 5 card, which talks about regrouping, recuperating, being restful, mindful, all of that kind of energy. But you've got the beautiful truth, love, and love. It's the love card, and it's the happiness, truth, and desire that sits at the bottom of that card that's there. And what that card represents is that, you know, when we get those real true qualities, and we see sometimes we don't have them ourselves, those real true qualities that we see of balance, of peace, love, happiness, desire, all that sort of stuff coming in. And it can be seen between a relationship. It can also be seen in a person for themselves as well. And I feel like you're really stepping into that. You've got the letting go card, which talks about just releasing some binds that's there. So, and again, I feel like you know what you need to do. I feel like this is a real work in progress, and you've come a really nice, beautiful way with it. And again, I feel like this is to do with self, you know, very much so. So if you're stuck in that take 5 regrouping, just take a breath. Just take a breath. Absolutely know that what you're doing is connecting really well around you. There's just a little bit more work to do with releasing those binds. And it's, as I said, I feel like, you know, when I say that, I hear lots and lots of words, and I feel like going, yeah, I just need to, you know, wash myself with this and wash myself with that, and then I'm good to go. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing as well. Okay, that's a really nice energy there for you, Belinda. Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, see, and then you've got the changes card that comes in as well, which is beautiful. Talks about nice positive change and being able to click into it. So enjoy. All right. If you've got a specific question, I do not mind doing general readings, guys, at all. But if you do have a question, please be specific with it. Otherwise, yeah, just general readings are fine. Let me just catch up with the comments a bit. Oh, yeah. This beautiful woman runs the most amazing psychic fairs, and absolutely looking forward to being back next year. Where are you, Kimberly? Oh, this feeling very blind, frustrated, this week. Actually, some guidance, please. It's I'm wondering if there's some shifts of energy going around this week as well. There's and positively, like sometimes I feel like that heavier energy that comes in is actually, you know, when we're getting kind of pushed, you know, and if we sit and sort of listen, we get some nice answers and some nice guidance that's there. You've got a nice energy too. Nice. You've got the alarm card, so it is time there, and it talks about that feeling. Just as I was saying, there you feel it, you know it. You know, sometimes you're not quite sure what it is, but you're feeling it, you know, and that's where I feel like that energy that sits around you. Like I was literally sort of pulling your cards, and I just felt, yeah, I just felt like a breezy, if that makes sense. You've got the joy card that sits there straight after it, and the joy card for me, it represents balance and happiness and harmony and peace and all of those beautiful things, which is why I just didn't use the word happiness on this card. It really sits there nicely. And then you've got the prosperity card that sits there. Talks about financial growth, talks about security, and talks about abundance. I feel like these are things, when we talk about it is time, I feel like these are things that you've already been waiting for that are coming in. Okay, and now everything's starting to fall into place. So yeah, I just feel nice with this energy that's there, and I feel like when I'm sitting, say, 6 months from now, it's like, yeah, cool. There's been all of these things come into place that we've been waiting for. So a really nice positive energy around with you. So when we're feeling blah and frustrated, as I want to go back to what I said, you know, that sometimes that comes in when we've just got to give it that last bit of energy, or just kind of got to collect ourselves and move ourselves forward. That frustration sometimes is not necessarily frustration because we're sitting just out of sync with ourselves. There's a beautiful meditation that I do sometimes that's there. I don't think if I've got it recorded or not, but have a look and do like a nice cleansing meditation. Find a nice one on YouTube. Just look for guided cleansing meditation or something like that, and allow your energy. Do a nice chakra balance perhaps, and get yourself just back in sync with yourself. Okay, Kimberly, because you've got really nice energy around you. And as I said, I kind of want to giggle a bit because it feels like it's just that you've got this and just pushing you forward a little bit to keep you going. Okay. So yeah, just connect back in with yourself a little bit. Okay. Yeah, nice. I feel like that's exactly what's going to come through for you, actually, Shelley. Let me just focus on Shelley. Yeah, nice. Okay, so you've got the Where Are You card, which is a really heavy card. It's probably the heaviest card in the deck. And I want to just be a straight shooter with you through it because it makes me smile. Okay, so this card, it talks about our quality of life around us, the way that we tackle life, our courage we have, the way we put ourselves out, all of that kind of energy that's there. And I know that you're quite aligned with that. Okay, but it's asking you just to come back and just reflect a little bit on it. So it's about it's a funny thing to say when I know just even just looking at that picture there, you radiate like this positive, like as soon as I looked, the glass is always half full, but look, it's been COVID, things have been different. Perhaps, we've been away from family and friends more than we have been socially, all those kind of little bits and pieces. It starts to have an effect. And that's where I think you've got the unity card that sits there. Spend some time reconnecting with those that you love around you. And if you find that they're a little bit busy or distant at the moment, that's where I want to come back to the Where Are You card as well and just see where you're at, what you're doing, okay? Because you've got the support card that sits there. And this energy in this card specifically talks about the fact that there are people around you that have got your back. Okay, so it's one of those ones where I was going to go give yourself just a little bit of a kick up the bum, and just keep moving forward. Because as soon as I pull that, you've got the intuition card, which means trust yourself a little bit more and trust your instinct of what your body's trying to tell you what's going on here, and you fall back into that joy. Okay, people are busy around. Okay, even when things seem shut down, people are still quite busy, and so as I say, I want you to focus a little bit more on self and what you enjoy and what you want to do, and throw a little bit more energy into it. And I just feel like it lifts that little bit of a rain cloud that's sitting there. Okay, so I hope that helps, Shelley. Oh, you're absolutely welcome, Kimberly. Meg, I know it might sound a little bit funny what I want to say, but your question caught my eye. So will my family's financial situation change and we start getting good luck? So I want to say to you that's there, come back and do like a nice house cleanse and things like that. And I know that house cleansing can be a little bit of a cliche thing, which is why I kind of struggle to go cleanse your house. But I'm not talking about running around with sage stick and thinking everything's hunky-dory. What I'm talking about is giving the house energy a really nice good cleanse. And so when I do that, what I do is like I open all the windows in the house and I'll trace the door frames and the sills and the skirting and the skirting, what's the thing at the top, the cornice as well, mirrors, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. And I talk about the house being full of love and light. And I just feel like it's symbolic as well. Okay, it's intentional, but it's also symbolic. And then focus on the energy around as well, because when we get stressed and when we're always having worries, especially financial concerns, we tend to get distracted from sometimes the quality of life that can be around us. And I feel like that needs to come back in a little. I keep seeing like picnics and just nice time spent quality wise, not necessarily monetary wise and things like that. And come and just joining that energy back together, okay? And I feel like that in itself just creates enough energy there between you to go, all right, we've got a game plan, we can do this, we've just got to stick it out a little bit longer, okay? There needs to be more collaboration. I don't feel like the team's quite in sync, and I don't want to necessarily pick on anyone like that, but we've got to be on the same page, and we can't have one person pouring in and the other person leaking out, or vice versa. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not kind of trying to suggest too much that it's out of whack, but I do feel like just, yeah, join the team back together, okay? I still feel like from that we get the plan, okay, and then we get out of there. So I still want to add a few months, and I don't want to be like feeling completely dire through all of that, but I still want to say it's like the game plan's created now, how to move on, okay? So I still feel like there's a few months attached to the financial shift. But as far as your family getting good luck and shifting that energy, I feel like you need to take charge of that and bring it in, okay? There's lots of little videos and bits and pieces around on house cleansing, but honestly, don't get caught up in all the freaking hoo-ha stuff. It really is about intention and energy flow, okay? So I hope that helps. And it does. Like seriously, cleanse the house out. It's really symbolic at your home. All right. Please like my Facebook page while you're here. Much appreciated, guys. Yes, you are, because we're never on the wrong path, because even when we find ourselves in a place where we go, oh, we're not quite aligned to that, in the end, it's never been a waste of time, because I feel like it's really important. And I always tell, even students that I teach, that don't ever just have one teacher. You need to have a broad range of opinions and perspectives and all of those kind of things. And out of all of that, you'll form your own opinion and your own kind of guidance and your own faith line and all of that sort of energy through the spiritual path. And so, for me, even now, like spiritualism is such a massive part of my life. But, you go back 5 years ago to what spiritualism meant and what it means now, just through its own natural course. It wasn't that I wasn't quite there 5 years ago, but it changes. It's perpetual. We were talking about this the other night, talking about like things being a little bit harder around, I didn't think that somebody that was so far on their spiritual path would have challenges so much. And they're like, well, no, because if we don't have challenges, then we don't have, the challenges give us the lessons, and the lessons is where we learn, and learning is the growth and all of that beautiful energy that's on the spiritual path. So there is no wrong way. There's certainly moral and ethical wrong ways, don't get me wrong, but there is no wrong way when your heart is just moving forward on what you're meant to connect to. So you always are, don't get caught up in the hoo-ha of, people and things like that, because, but again, that's a lesson in itself too, and, you'll meet your fair share of them. Hello, Namaste from India. Finally ready for my professional growth. Thanks so much. Oh, cards are a little bit jumpy, so I thought you're still sitting a little bit undecided about which direction you want to go. Yeah. You think a lot. I know how that feels. Interesting. I feel like you've got some things to take care of around you beyond work. I know that you're asking me around professional growth, but I feel like there's something that's not in the way, but we've got something that's, like personal life, priorities and bits and pieces, because all your cards initially up are, talk about love, the truth, the happiness, desire, allowing healing in, calling on your strength, and having a few worries and doubts. So, but you've had some bad experiences in your work, and you're not quite trusting where you're going. Okay. All right. So personally wise, I feel like your focus, your concentration's there. So, we talk about family and all that kind of stuff that's there. All right, that's fine. I can put that there. They want to take me back to work. And so we're talking about, as I said, perhaps being bit on the butt a little bit, being given things that you promised, things that didn't quite come to fruition, feeling like your energy was in a certain place, and then perhaps, finding that you're not quite where you're meant to be. And much as I was talking about just a couple of minutes ago, that's not bad. You know what I mean? It's all growth, it's all learning. So I feel like this card is saying, no, hey, take what it is that you're really desiring, take what it is that you want. I feel like there's a safe choice and a wanted choice here. And the wanted choice still has safety in it, but it's got that risk factor of needing the faith and the belief in it. Because you've got the allowing the healing to come in. You know, when I sit with that card, that's what they're saying to me. Like, don't feel like past experiences or anything else are going to be. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to jump up to that next thing. You need to call on your strength, and that's what that is. It's, you know, the female card in my deck talks about the strength needing to come from within, and I very much want to utilize that. But I want to say this card as well. It talks about calling on your strength. So yeah, okay, I've got this. Let's go. You know what I mean? The worries and the doubts. I always say just break them down and put them into a perspective that you can take. I always liken it to a pie. You know, try to eat the pie in one go, huge family pie, we're going to feel sick, we're going to feel overwhelmed. Cut it in slices, eat it at different meals. We've eaten the whole thing and we've tackled it. So break the problems down one at a time. And don't forget your goals are not impossible. You know, you get a little bit frustrated around this energy that's there, but just be mindful with your intentions and you're going to see improvement around self and situations, okay? So push up, push up. As I said, I feel like you're sitting between two choices. Time to push up. I feel like it's going to be a really rewarding experience. I can definitely feel hard work attached to it, but I feel like you're already aware of that as well, okay? So you're safe to make the unsafe choice. And I don't mean it's unsafe, I just mean you understand, okay? So I hope that helps. Guys, I do little daily reads on YouTube each day, and they're not necessarily readings. So I use the deck that's there. I pull 3 cards. You let your energy go to where you're guided. What the purpose of them is for those of you that are working on shifting mindset and wanting to like develop your intuition, all that sort of stuff, because personal self-awareness is a massive, massive part. And so what these cards do, they give a little bit of food for thought. It's a moment of reflection when you're standing in the shower or whatever else that's there, but whatever your energy is drawn to, it'll kind of bring up some, you know, perhaps internal challenges or things that we can think of to change perspective, all of that sort of stuff. And what happens is over the course of time, say around 30 days, you know, those neurological pathways start to shift and change and you know, the synapses start to go and loving each other in your brain. And you start to naturally think this way. You start to naturally think with a more positive habit and everything else like that. And so that's the overall thing of the daily reads. It takes like 10 minutes of your day. You know, listen to it, we're doing whatever else that you're doing, and you'll find over time your mindset starts to shift without you even realizing it, because that's what it is. It's consistency, and it's creating new habits. It's creating new neurological habits. You know, your brain loves to pick up on new habits, and it'll pick up on the negative ones just as much as the positive ones. So give yourself a moment to actually embrace it, and yeah, so yeah, join me. And you'll find me on YouTube most days doing all the time on YouTube. Most days I'll put it up on Facebook. All right, so let's keep going. Where'd you go? There. Leanne. What I want to just say, when we are feeling sad and anxious, they're two terribly clashing emotions that are there. And, you know, we can sit and I can say that you're going to get through and all of those kind of little bits and pieces, because you always do. But I want to say to you, think about the way that you nurture yourself. And, you know, I know people go, when we talk about self-care and things like that, but think about it in a holistic view. Like your body's like a machine, you know. And when we're feeling sad and we're feeling anxious and all of that kind of energy, it's depleting. It releases adrenaline. It releases, you know, if we're spending more time inside, our serotonin is not releasing the right sugar, melatonin is not kicking in the right time. And it starts to send our body all in this kind of haywire ways. And so when we bring self-care back in, so making sure we're drinking like water through the day, making sure that we're spending time in the sunlight through the day, making sure we're keeping, you know, some kind of routine around ourselves, even if we've got to just sneak in a little nap or anything else through that, it preserves the body and it allows our mind to be in that position to click itself back in and to persevere and to push through. Okay, you know, nice long warm baths. Meditation is such a beautiful thing. Like, you don't have to know how to meditate to get something out of a meditation. Just literally go onto YouTube, look up, you know, guided meditation for self-care, for love, for release, for feeling better. All of those kind of little bits and pieces that are there, and nurture yourself. If your best friend come to you right now and said to you, you know, I'm feeling really sad and I'm feeling really anxious and I need some help, how do you think I can do that? All those things that you would say, give to yourself, and don't feel silly about it. Don't feel selfish about it. Taking time for yourself is essential. It's not a selfish act, you know, I'm going to just go from the little ones that are in your profile, like you're a mum. Taking time, or having even just family commitments around you as well, can make us feel selfish around taking time for ourselves. And so give a little bit of food for thought around what I said, but definitely as well, Leanne, if those feelings keep going, reach out to your doctor, and have a talk with your GP. They can even refer you to some, local holistic or counselling services and all those kind of little bits and pieces. For those of you who don't know, I am a degree qualified counsellor. I majored in crisis intervention, trauma counselling, working with children. I've worked extensively with body behaviour for, God, so long I can't remember. So if you do need referrals and you do find yourself stuck in it there, I can help you find referrals for anybody that's on here, whenever as well. So just a little bit of food for thought, but just on the holistic side of things, nurture the self-care. If your body can operate properly, your mind is in the best position to be able to push through and break out of this energy, okay? It needs resources to feed it, even when you don't want to. If you don't feel like eating, great. If you don't feel like drinking, sip, but keep doing it, okay? It does help. Music and exercise is also something I highly recommend. Okay, even if you don't feel like it, make yourself do it. It does make a difference. So I hope that helps, Anne. And as I said, you always please feel to reach out if you need any further assistance. Okay, let me catch up to the comments for a second. Yep. Where'd you go? Luke Jones. You've got a nice energy there. I feel like you've been, I want to go quick. You got some ideas. You got some nice financial growth coming in around you as well with, just, you know what it feels like more too? Like, it's not like, oh, getting a big lotto win or anything else like that. Sorry. But I feel like it's more getting to the point where you work for. It's got that kind of energy that's there. And as I said, I feel full of ideas as well. So let's just see what your cards have to say. You've got the it's time card, so you feel it, it. And as I said, I do feel the shift around you coming as well, okay? You've got the unity card there, which talks about love, relationships, and trust. So for me, when I sit with that card, I'm feeling the word synchronicity around it. And I feel like there's a nice synchronicity, like everything's in place around you where it should be at the moment. Trust in that energy. I always say if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So remember that. Even if it's, either side of the coin that falls on, because it's a really nice positive energy when we sit in the truth of it, okay? And I'm not trying to flip it one way or the other. I just want to clarify, I guess. So you've got the crossroads card, which talks about the fact you've got decisions, choices, and direction. As I said, I feel like the direction's in place. Decisions and choices, as I said, you feel like you're full of ideas at the moment that are there. Trust in yourself, okay? Trust in yourself, trust in your gut feeling that is there. You got the moving on card, which talks about moving forward to better things. And as I said, I am feeling financial growth around this, but you've got that card that sits there, so I can't help but feeling that there's, relationship and that kind of energy that comes around as well. And it's, as I said, it's one side of the coin or the other that's there. And you've got the cycles card, which talks about beginnings and endings. And so that's, there's absolutely no doubt you're moving there. Sit in your own truth. It's really important, I feel, at the moment, okay? Your own truth, your own honour, all of that kind of energy. Trust in the beauty that's around you and everything else that's there. Trust in those ideas, but as I said, I want to go different ways, obviously, as I said, emotionally. But financially side of things, as I said, I feel like your direction's in place and you're starting to reap in the rewards that you've worked for. So keep doing what you're doing in that side. It's intense energy, I guess, around the relationship that's there. And intense is a nice word. I'm not trying to be, I'll keep it as a neutral word that's there. But yeah, it's definitely you're definitely sitting right. It's nice. All right. Yes, I would. Joanne, I'm not sure if you've asked a question anywhere, but I'm just going to you there. Your cards are quite jumpy. I'm going to let you keep those. Self-trust, self-belief is where it all begins, and be mindful what your intentions are. Oops, I didn't want to speak, so I jumped on that. Isn't that funny? The whole deck just like stuck to the intention card. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, as to your jump cards, we're talking about self-trust and self-belief being where it all begins. It is. It's the foundation for anything we want to do. If we don't trust ourselves, we don't believe in ourselves, no one and nothing else is going to. Where your intentions lay, if we focus on the things that can go wrong, that's generally what happens, okay? So focus on the good feelings, focus on the successful outcomes, focus on the things that you want. That brings in the joy card, but there's some things that you need to let go of around you that no longer serve. The detox card is a little bit different from the clearing out the stables card. They both kind of say the same thing essentially on the bottom, but the thing around it is clearing out the stables. You know, you get up, you go, oh, you've got to clean out the stables, and you go and do your job. This detox card, it's a volcano, and that sits in a bruise for a while, and it erupts of its own accord. And so that's what we're saying. Like, it's time to let go of what no longer serves before it does kind of have problems and issues for you. So then you've got the transformation card, which talks about blossoming into true self. Okay, so just bring it back to self. Smile, know that you've got it. You just need to have that self trust and that self belief. Yes, we all have worries and doubts, but you know we've got to choose which one we're going to focus on, the positive outcome better or the worse, and that's going to create the balance around you. Okay, so be mindful of that. But I feel like you work it out because you've got the joy card sitting there. So I hope that helps, Joanne. Okay. Not that I'm getting a barrage of them, but I'll throw that up there while I am. Guys, you can book a reading. Oh yeah, it says it down the bottom the whole time. Okay, that's cool. I always forget that little banner's down the bottom, but you can. I am going to put a code up. September. September's the code. I've had a few of you messaging me over the last couple of days going, is there a code? Is there a code? I'll put one up. It'll be September. So if you want to book a reading afterwards, I'll put the code September in. It'll give you a 30% discount. Okay. Yeah, I'll remember that. I'll do it as soon as the live feed is finished. All right. Comments. Where are we? Oh. Hello. Yeah. Hello, Dean. You work hard. Yeah. Okay. You've got nice cards. I just wanted to see where the story was going. So you've got the prosperity card that comes in straight up. So it talks about financial growth, security, abundance. And I feel like that's a focus of yours. I feel like that's something that you're working towards and something you've been experiencing to a degree. But the thing around it, when I first sit on you, like I go, oh, you work hard. But then I'm feeling like disrespected is the word that I want to use. And I want to keep that in context. Obviously, you know, we don't get to sit with each other. So I've just got to use the word that's there. But I feel like you're acknowledging this, okay? And so you've got the change of luck card, which talks about energy shifting for the better, and you've got the detox card as well, which talks about, again, time to let go of what no longer serves, and this has been a bit of a time coming, okay? It's not the easiest thing to do, and it's again, you've got the external conflict card that's there, which talks about this coming from outside forces, okay? So look after yourself, stand in your own truth, your own honour, and your own awareness, and know that your goals are not impossible. Whatever you've been working towards here, as I said, if you've been kicked off your path a little bit and you're smelling ducks around you, have a look and trust it for what it is that you see, okay? And when you do that, you tend to think about things a little bit too much, okay? But you work your way out, you do. Yeah, see, then you fall into sync with yourself, you've got the trust card, you need to sit in that. And as soon as you sit in your self-trust and transformation, you get the transformation card. So my spread has 12 cards plus 4 of what you need to know most. So when I pull you the 12, that's your journey that's there. Don't get in your own way, okay? Don't get in your own way. And that's with love, relationships, everything. Don't get in your own way. Tend to overthink things a little bit. I feel good with you. I feel proud of myself. I feel accomplished, okay? So, yeah, let your energy sit in that as well. And I hope that helps. Okay. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Oh, thank you. Do my best. All right, Karina. I am well. I am well. Learning lots. I would love a reading, please. In need of help and guidance. Thanks. Beautiful. I feel like I need to. When I say I feel like I need to walk away, I want to keep that in context. I want to scroll it a little bit. It's not like this big. Oh, I need to walk away. I just need to go. Enough. Like something's been like a fly, you know. I'm gonna get the morphine out. Yeah. So you've got the healing card that sits there. Okay, so it talks about being patient but allowing healing to come in. And the thing around the healing card, it's funny because you've got the shit happens card that's right next to it, and you've got the female card that sits there with it. Okay, I want to see where it's going. You've got the take 5 card. So what I want to say around those cards is the healing card can represent a couple of different things. But what it hits on in its deepest level is about being patient but allowing it to come in. And that's the key thing around healing, is allowing it to come in. Because if we heal, if we feel that healed from an experience, and that experience, especially when it's linked to another person, we're not angry. And if we're not angry, then we're kind of saying that what they did is okay, and it's not okay. And so it becomes this really, between healing and forgiveness and the understanding of the balance and everything else like that. We feel like that we've got to be angry, and we feel like we've got to be resentful, and hold on to that emotion because that's what we're supposed to do. And so when we do that, healing doesn't get to come in, and family and friends, without even knowing, can really prevent a healing cycle going on as well, especially say through, I'm not likening, but, in a more significant, where there's been really bad trauma, something else, and this person's ready to kind of move on, and the family's like, oh, I hate that person, I'll kill them if I ever see him. As us as the individual, we've got to go, we can't say it's all right. Not all right. You know what I mean? And so it makes healing really difficult. And I know I'm using an extreme example, but healing, if it's not just as simple as going, I'm ready to move on. And so I wanted just to throw a little bit of food for thought in there, because you've got the shit happens card. And what this card talks about is the fact that in life, some things just happen. It doesn't mean that we deserved them. It doesn't mean that it was fair. It just means that in life, shit happens, and we've got to not let it define us. The shifts and the changes that you're wanting to come in around you are going to have to come in from yourself, because you've got the female card. The female card doesn't represent that. What it represents, though, is that the energy has to come from within. It's that primal energy of going, no, I'm going to instigate the changes that I want to see. Regroup, take a moment, be mindful and rest, and think about, what it is that you need to do to make that happen. Think about what you need in the bigger picture, okay, and stay connected with yourself. When you do that, you've got nice support around you, but you do have some decisions to make, but you know that it's time. You're secure in your choices. You've got the growth card that comes in, and this needing to call on your strength. So the growth card talks about self-awareness, opportunities, and things like that as well. So you've got a nice trail that's there. I just feel like you're caught in a hill that you've kind of got to go, yeah, that's all good. I've drank my water, I've eaten my lunch, I'm going to put my backpack back on, put my boots on, and charge through. Okay, so I hope that helps. I didn't make a banner. That was probably a bit silly of me. There's the psychic and the mediumship workshops are out, guys. They're $150 each. They go for 5 hours each. It's very limited numbers, so everyone gets really interactive one-on-one. They're both up on the event page that's there. So if you are interested in psychic development personally, or want to become professional with it, that's a workshop for you. Mediumship absolutely is the same thing that's there. Even if you just want to kind of, oh, I feel like I'm not quite sure, that's a perfect workshop for you. So yes, you'll find them on my page. Live feed you'll find every Friday evening. Guys, I don't ask to share or anything else specifically to get a reading, but I always appreciate if you could share the live, and or even just a thumbs up or a heart on there as well. Definitely all helps. So yeah, really appreciate that. All right, let me. Oh, thank you. I do go back and read your comments as well after the lives. I have to get rid of all the different people that come on. There's trolls around. I'll be mindful of that, guys. Trolls on Facebook. Oh, send me a reading for $5. We'll give you a reading. All right. Let's go. Jacqueline Villiers. I am drawn to you. I think you really need a reading. You feel quite intuitive to me, actually. Want to say an empath? No, not at minimum, but I feel like you're aware of that, at least at minimum. But yeah, I think you know. It's a nice energy. All right, so, and that's the thing. I think the thing that your intuition's hitting me so much for is because I know when we are intuitive and we're, you know, still wherever we're at with that, that's there. Yeah, it's confusing. So people go, why don't you just read for yourself? So, finally, that same kind of energy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You got a little bit of work. All right. So, Jacqueline, you've got the it's time card. Okay. It talks about the fact that you feel it and you know it, and that's where I'm saying it. Okay. Your intuition's ringing off the charts. I feel like at the moment, as far as going, something's not sitting quite in balance here. You've got the shit happens card, which I assume you've just listened to me talk about. So I won't go into that too much again, but just remember that in life shit happens and we can't let it define us. It's a dead end. Something around you is not working at the moment, and this way is not going to work. And I feel like, again, you know this, okay? It's just like it's not fair because it's not the way that it was supposed to be. You know, and that may be in whatever context that it is, but again, I feel like you know it. And I feel like once you're kind of ready just to go, yeah, okay, I accept that, the change of life comes in, okay? She talks about energy shifting for the better, but there's a bit of work to do here. As I said, you've got the detox card, and I'm not sure how long you've been gathered around, but I do want to say that the detox card talks about that volcano. You know, the volcano can sit there dormant for like 20 years, but it hasn't been. It's been, you know, building up, building up, building up, building up, building up, and then one day it just goes, you know, and explodes. So it's about, you know, having to clear out some perhaps literal things, but also behavioural and emotional. You know what I mean? As I said, I feel like there's a little bit of work to do. But you've got the self-care card, which talks about truth, honor, and awareness, honor and awareness. And when I say a little bit of work to do, what I feel like it's that growth journey. So that's like a really positive for me. I get excited around that. I've always got work to do. You know, and it's about clicking in with ourselves more. And the rewards at the end of it are just, you know, are really nice. That's there. So, you know, it's putting you into your journey of self. There's the heartache card that comes in. You've got the prosperity card that sits with those. Just be a little bit patient. Trust in yourself. You've got the transformation that sits there. Again, you can think about things a little bit too much, but I don't feel like you need to do that too much once you've moved to this end of the reading. Okay. So I hope that helps, Jacqueline. Trust in yourself. Make the shifts that you know you need to. They don't look simple. I don't want to say they're disastrous, but they don't look simple, but you can do it. And it gets you to that place where you need to be. Okay. Okay. Oh, Bob Marley in my head. All right. Oh, thank you. I'll tell you what, thank you. The comments as I go up. I do appreciate your phone book. No, sorry. I can't. You can go back, Joanne. You probably were sitting around 35 minutes or so. Yeah. Sure. If I do see it through there when I'm chasing through, I will let you know what time it was on as well. But can you imagine? Not opening that can of worms. All right, Rochelle. Need some guidance, please. Yeah. Looks like a duck and walks like a duck. Like a duck. And I say that a lot. Sometimes we need to see. You got the security card, there's a jump card. The intuition card that falls on the floor. Secure. You're secure in your life and choices. Okay, there's your third card. Funny. All right. So you got far out this detox card running around at the moment, isn't it? You've got the detox card as well. You've got the grounding, you've got the intuition. Look, as soon as that security card jumped out, as soon as I kind of jumped on, I went, oh, there's a decision to kind of be made. They want you to know that you're going to be secure in your choices. And again, this has been a long time brewing because it's a detox card. Keep yourself nice and grounded. Trust in yourself. As I said, look for the ducks. Trust in your psychic senses. You're moving forward onto better things, okay? There's cycles, there's beginning and endings that are here. Again, that's coming out again. You've got the trust and the self-belief is where it all begins. Just trust in yourself. Trust in your intuition. That's here. What you're thinking is exactly what you need to do, okay? See the situation for what it is. It's not going to change, okay? It's not going to change. It is what it is. And you moving forward is creating security around you and offering an opportunity for renewed energy, okay? In some ways, things will end up better than what they are now, even in the same situation, okay? Yeah, all right. So I hope that helps. I know, Joanne, I'm sorry. Like, I totally would if it wouldn't set this huge precedent that I just couldn't keep up with. But I know you weren't that far back, so yeah, and yeah, you can scroll through the video once the live's finished and just go to that certain point that's there. You're very welcome. I've been saying thank you, thank you. This is what I've been saying thank you too. There's all comments like that and stuff. Okay. Where's no. Okay. It's been a really nice energy in the room tonight. It's been nice actually. Like there's a nice energy here, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's just been a particularly nice energy that was there. I said my energy is very reflective of what's around me. So yeah, I feel good. All right, Mel, let me focus on you. You're smart. I want to say trust. Trust. Okay. No, so you've got the joy card that sits there. Okay, so I feel like okay. So your spread's reading in this regard. So the first card that's coming and saying what's there, what's clicking. Okay, so you've got the joy card, which talks about peace, happiness, and harmony. For those of you that know as well, I didn't specifically use the word happiness on this card because it's about the balance. Okay. You've got the completions card that sits in the middle. So as one door closes, another one opens. So I feel like the joys and assurance cards, like it's cool. The completions card, it's much like the tower energy that's there. It can feel quite dramatic, but for me, and when I do actually print this deck off properly, I feel like I'm going to change this card because it's the bushfire is what always comes to mind. When you see a bushfire that's ran through the bush and you look and everything's black and you think far out, the devastation and things like that. But several weeks later you look and there's these beautiful bright green sprouts of just coming out of everywhere, and the wildlife starting to return and all of that kind of energy. And the bush actually needs that. Obviously you don't want it completely devastated, but the bush needs it. It's renewal. There's some plants that even that's when they drop their seeds and all that kind of stuff. So it's as one door closes, another one opens. Okay, so just keep that. And then you've got the improvements card that sits there straight afterwards, which talks about self and situations that's there. So there's a shift of energy that's there, but you've got like the two really nice positive cards that's sitting on the other side of it. So I feel good. You've got people that have got your back around you. You're transforming into your true self. You're calling on your strengths. You've got the beautiful growth card that sits there, making your decisions and your choices and your question on where you are. So I think just keep doing that. And this where you are card, I just do want to call on that. Just go, it makes you go. If it was the last day of your life, are you satisfied with the courage and everything else that you're putting into it and the decisions that you're making? And if not, where do you need to shift that a little bit? Okay. Stand strong in your energy, clear out the energy, and just know that in life shit happens. So yeah, I just want to put your 12 that's there. But I hope that helps. Mel, there's definitely, just when I sit with those three that's there. There's the balance, there's your chat shift, but there's your improvements. Okay, so I hope that helps. Okay. So, guys, I am here for several more minutes. I will be back next Friday evening. You will catch me through the week on Instagram doing the live on there. I can't mix all three onto this platform, unfortunately, but that's all right. I get to do a second one through the week. You'll also find me on YouTube doing the daily reads each day. As I said to you guys, I think that they're a nice thing to watch. And look at that, I made it 56 minutes without being disturbed. Oh, she's going to drop that. Thanks, Dom. We look for hair ties each morning, so she knows if she takes one out, she has to bring it to me. For anybody that has enjoyed their reading this evening, I do appreciate feedback on the page. All right, let's not waste our few minutes dribbling on shit. Let's read. Crystal. Crystal Orford. I would like to read for you. There it is again. Okay, got the detox card as well. And you guys can't see what I'm doing. See what I'm coming in. Probably, yeah. But I'm spreading the cards across the table and pulling it randomly. If you're wondering what I'm doing down there, what am I doing down there? All right, Crystal. So you've got the uncertainty card, the prosperity card. You've got the detox card that sits there. Okay, so the uncertainty card talks about confusion, a little bit of self-doubt and clouded judgment around you. But the prosperity card's a really nice, strong, powerful card. It talks about financial growth, security, and abundance sitting there. But you've got the detox card that's there as well. Okay, always carries a little bit of work and heaviness with it, that card. So it's time to let go of what no longer serves. And as I said, this has been a long time coming. That uncertainty that you're sitting into, that's where you want to go move into is prosperity, but you need to be mindful of your balance and make the commitment to move forward with yourself. A little bit of frustration around you, a little bit of procrastination and worry and doubt that's there around you, but you're finding your balance, okay? There is some shifts and changes, and as I said, that's because you've got the prosperity card that's sitting there. So I don't, I don't necessarily feel like, things even wrong, but it's about going, do I want this or do I want this? And making some choices towards that, okay? Because I feel like you can have more than what you got. And not that what you got's bad, as I said, but yeah, I hope that helps. Onwards and upwards. Don't look back in 5 years and go, I wish I'd done that. You may as well give it a go. All right, Emma. Yeah, I'm smashing through. Sorry, let me do that again. Okay, so Emma, you've got the external conflict card, the confront fears card, the stay connected card, stand strong, shit happens, support. What I want to say to you is that I feel like there's been those external conflict and confronting fears. I feel like this is about not necessarily work, but career, moving on, financial, all this, it's all that kind of energy. It may even be like ideas of running a business at some point or something else like that. External conflict for me in that instance talks about a conflict caused by outside forces and people. Even just the way that the world is at the moment, timing, wanting to wait until things are in place, even if it's positive things that are in place and everything else. But through all of that, you've got the confronting fears card. So it's talking about looking at what's holding you back, okay? Staying connected to yourself, and knowing that you can do that. Knowing in life that things just happen along the way, but you've got nice support that's there. Again, it's almost like that choice. It's like I can sit back and kind of go, oh, or I want to reach out and I want to grab that. And I feel like there's, it's like, oh, here you go, come and grab it. You're like, oh, yeah, cool, I'll do that next year. And not because you can't or anything else, but, you're perhaps prioritizing things, as we all do, towards family. whatever it is in context for you, that confront fears card is the big energy that's there. Okay. Yes. And it's a self-honesty card. Like it's about, if we walk into a crowded room, where do you stand? I'll always sort of gravitate to the corner because I'm shy. If I'm confronting a fear around that, I'm going to walk to the middle of the room and say hello to people, and then, cringe when I don't say hello back. It's like, but it's that kind of energy that's there. It's just looking at you going, yeah. What do because you've got a nice energy moving forward. As I said, there's a lot of powerful financial and business energy that's there connected to it. But I'm reluctant just to throw it all into that because I really don't want to. I feel like it's more than that. Okay. Work to do. Stay connected to yourself and know that you're supported. And know that if there is that little bit of external conflict around, as I said, addressing those little bit of fears of where you stand in the middle of all that, it's going to throw that energy out. Okay. So I hope that helps. All right, guys. Lucky last. I will put on the page when I'm going to do the Instagram live feed. I've still yet to work the schedule out for that one properly, which is why I don't just go da. It's been around a couple of different times through my head, but yeah, I've yet to settle. You're very welcome. All right, it's going to go on. Someone's feedback. Didn't like it. You're landed on Sylvia. Sylvia. I can't say your surname properly. I'm sorry. But I don't care if I can't say your name properly because I'll still read for you. I'm sure that there's a chi or a... It's funny, my name's on that, Bratcher. How do you spell that? It's just natural now. Who go Bratcher? I go Bratcher. All right. Sylvia. 3. Okay, so you've got the cycles card, which talks about beginning and endings and natural order. Okay, and the thing around this around this card is the natural order side of things. It says knowing that beginnings and endings are a natural order and allowing the cycles to flow in around. Okay, you've got the card which talks about your goals are not impossible. So it's the Catch the Rainbow card, and so I feel like it's once we step into that flow a little bit more and understanding the cycles and letting go of what no longer serves, or understanding that the cycles are in flow around us, and then thinking back to us about what it was that we were focused on. You get the frustration card that sits there, and I feel like and I want to say really nicely, you're a little bit stubborn in that. But when you clear out the stables and really clear that energy around from you, I feel like that puts you back into sync with where you want to be. I feel good for where you are now, even if it doesn't feel entirely good. Okay, it's part of that cycle that's going around, and it's definitely leading you back to, that's where I want to go. Okay, not even leading you back, but leading you more to. All right, I don't want to say that you're lost or anything else like that, but you understand that energy, what I'm talking about, hopefully. Okay, clearing out the stables, and then see, you've got the moving on towards better things. So there's a nice clear energy that's there, and I can just feel like it might feel a little bit frustrating right now. But as I said, it's just understanding that flow, beginnings and endings and the processes in between. All right, but it's going to put you in a really nice, beautiful place. So I hope that you enjoy that energy. All right, guys. So again, thank you very much for joining me this evening. It has been a pleasure to read for you all. I will be back on Friday. I will be back in the morning with the daily read on YouTube. Other than that, you can book a reading with me via the Facebook page or the website. September will be the code. I'll put that in 5 minutes, and that will give you a 30% discount. You can use that on video and phone readings and face-to-face. But face-to-face, you need to book manually with me at the moment due to COVID. All right, guys, have a beautiful evening, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.